Previously on eSports Historian, we took a look at Circuit City's outreach tournament event to the hardcore gamer community in conjunction with ESPN's Winter X Games. But there were other brick-and-mortar electronics stores around in the very early 2000s that wanted to make a play for this growing United States hardcore gamer market. Enter one such store called CompUSA, and their program they started in late 2001 known simply as GameFixx. As a concept, GameFixx was quite unique in being the first ever hardcore gamer subscription service. This membership came in two flavors, the good version for $69.99 and the crappy junior version that no one really purchased for $14.99. Now you may call me a dirty liar, as the price on the screen says that the hardcore membership is only $49.99, but CompUSA wasn't against JD marketing. From the asterisk, that was the price they gave you after a $20 gift card. That gift card, combined with a flat 10% discount on purchases and priority game pre-ordering, made the primary goal of the program clear: lock consumers into using CompUSA as their primary source of video game purchases. This program was more than 3 years before Amazon Prime would launch with a similar type of goal, so it was quite innovative and unique for the time. But back to the reason why you, the viewer, are here, which is eSports. The membership gave one access to all tournaments CompUSA was planning to hold, which they were claiming would be extensive. Eliminated was the ability to pay a registration fee for just those tournaments one was interested in. You had to have the card to play. I happen to have my original membership card that I've been saving for when I eventually build a time machine and go back to undo all my past tournament losses. The design and size is that of a credit card, but the icon on it still haunts my dreams. That twisted smile, those drugged out eyes, that disconnected controller that he doesn't seem to realize means he is no longer playing the game. My sleep has never been the same. Here's the design of the free membership t-shirt one would have received that shows more of how CompUSA saw us hardcore gamers back then. Flipping the membership card over shows less of a nightmare, with the usual legal jargon and some partner icons, primary of which is Blizzard Entertainment, which they would host the most tournaments for. Going to the earliest tournament page in February of 2002, one can see the banner promotion for an online StarCraft Brood War event that was to be the first big tournament. Under that is information on some smaller in-store events that they were holding with a recap of the latest in the news to the right. Worth a mention, as I'm doing now, but I'm not going to be covering those smaller events. Moving on, we can see two planned online tournaments: the StarCraft event from the banner, and a Dark Age of Camelot event. Finally, we have some promised LAN events for hot games like Age of Empires, StarCraft, Half-Life, and Quake 3. Awesome stuff. Who wouldn't want to join this membership program to get access to all these tournaments? Only one tiny issue. Only that StarCraft Brood War event listed at this time would actually be held starting on February 22nd, 2002. The StarCraft event managed to pull in between 100 and 150 total players for the $20,000 prize pool, with a very large, especially at this time, $10,000 first prize. Registration numbers were lower than they had anticipated though. The large cost of entry, combined with it being limited to USA residents only, limited the potential pool of players. The first part of the event was a ladder qualifier, where everyone tried to make it into a top 64 bracket tournament. This event had official support from Blizzard. One's account would get a special icon. There were special chat channels. Game results would report automatically, and patch 1.09b would be released to have game disconnects in this mode count as losses, a setting that really should have been obvious from the beginning. The eventual grand finals had an unusual set of competitors. On one side, we had Ware, who had twice represented the United States in the World Cyber Games. On the other side, we had Super Condom User. Yes, you heard that name right. The Super Condom User account was registered to a USA resident, who then was having someone talented overseas play the games for him instead. With so many competitions being online these days, and companies generally being lax in rule enforcement, cheaters thrived, and this competition was no exception. Ware would end up being victorious, defeating Super Condom User 2-1 in that finals. If you want to know what the games were like during that time, that is what has actually been running in the background of this segment, as I co-casted those games with Ware over a year ago to celebrate StarCraft Remastered's release. You can check out that finals, along with a bunch of other CompUSA ladder games featuring StarCraft greats like Day 9, Tasteless, and Fraz, on the video history page of this account. While CompUSA had cancelled their original Big LAN tournament series, they did end up sponsoring a major event in May of 2002 called the Million Man LAN. The event would feature Counter-Strike, Unreal Tournament, and StarCraft that would share a $15,000 total prize pool. The amount might be low by today's standards, but back then, it put the event as one of the top 5 biggest American LAN events of the year. All of the top players descended to Kentucky, and new top dogs were established. McNasty took first in StarCraft. Destruct 519 defeated all challengers in Unreal Tournament, and Team 3D started their many years of Counter-Strike dominance at this event. The main StarCraft community site at this time, known as SCLegacy, traveled to do full coverage of the event, and this picture is from that coverage of McNasty with the novelty check he received. Many of the photos that they were posting would be the first time we competitors would have the community see our actual appearance. Let's see how the community reacted to this. Oh my. 2002 internet, you were a mean place. Moving on, a second $10,000 online StarCraft tournament was announced for August of 2002, and subsequently cancelled. The game was swapped for the newer Warcraft 3, and a start date of January 21st, 2003 was set for the event. Struggling with hosting their own original events, CompUSA turned to partnering with other esports organizations, with their offer of their brick-and-mortar footprint being ideal for regional qualifiers. They first hosted qualifiers in late 2002 for the United States World Cyber Games Finals, and Team USA would feature many familiar names. The winner of the Million Man LAN Counter-Strike event, known as Team 3D, would continue their newly established reign. Meanwhile in StarCraft, the winner of the CompUSA $20,000 online tournament would clinch the top spot, while the second spot would be a name familiar to anyone who saw the previous episode of eSports Historian. The final name on the StarCraft list is worth a mention, in that Hero was a Smurf, or alias, of Froz, as he was establishing his dominant StarCraft career. The only other esports organization at this time that rivaled the World Cyber Games was the Cyber Athlete Professional League, shortened as CPL, and CompUSA wanted in on their tournament circuit as well. They would host qualifiers in November 2002 for their $30,000 Unreal Tournament event. Circling back to that advertised $10,000 Warcraft 3 online tournament, the GameFixx membership requirement is dropped and replaced with a flat $25 registration fee. Interest in this tournament proved to be very high, with nearly 500 players signing up to compete. Despite this being their biggest sign-up success, information on what happened in this tournament is strangely non-existent. Not a single major site at the time seemed to cover the event. After many hours of research, I can confirm that the same person who won the Warcraft 3 beta tournament finished first here. A famous name of the time, known as Tillerman, defeated Short Round in the finals. This would be the last original event that CompUSA would hold. As GameFixx was winding down in 2003, they would continue to use their brick-and-mortar footprint to act as qualifiers to larger United States-based events. From April to June, they would host qualifications in Counter-Strike for the Cyber Athlete Professional League's $70,000 Summer 2003 event. From May to July would be another round of qualifications for the WCG USA Finals. GameFixx consisted of just these two tournaments and a listing of products. The membership, all news coverage, and smaller events had stopped. By 2004, GameFixx was essentially dead, and the domain redirected to one ugly catalog search. Forgotten by time, it was a unique series of events that never seemed to quite meet expectations. Thus ends the second volume of eSports Historian. As always, let me know what I might be able to do to improve this series. Next time we are going to an earlier period of time as we look at the late 1990s professional gaming league. Take care everyone.